my name is Lars and welcome to our book talk session today. And our book for today is Mr. Midnight by James Lee. This Mr. Midnight is the number 3 book, and it consists of two different scary stories entitled Scary School Bus to Norway and Revenge of the Goldfish. This book is published on 1999 and published by Angsana Book. And before that, James Lee, before he became an author, he was an advertising guru. He judges some of the world top creative advertising award show, and he even lecture in many different city in different countries. And as we look at the back of the book, it's stated that turn off your light and get ready for the fight. And obviously we have to turn our light so we can read the book. So without further ado, let's go to the number 1 story, which is the Scary School Bus to Norway. So on the first story, the Scary School Bus to Norway, it consists of a group of friends called Eugene, Azul, and Samantha, where they encounter scary situation, environments, experience where they get on the school bus, which have the number of 888, and they experience many scary things like python snake, like a head fall on the ground on the bus, which is the driver bus, and there are no other person in the bus except them. And they encountered a man which he called himself as a memory man. He can mess with their mind. With he expert in illusions, where he give scary environment, scary situation to Eugene, Azul, and Samantha, and he have very bad goal, which he want the 3 friends to work with him to get to Mr. Ho. Actually, Mr. Ho is the father of Samantha. He worked at the bank, and this memory man, he want to steal money from the bank, which have a very bad plan, very bad intention to get the money by a very bad method, which he give to Eugene, Azizul, and Samantha. And in the end, they solve the mystery. They fight the scare situations, and they were safe, and they were safe, and they succeed to fight with the memory man. And in the middle of the story, they encountered many different scary things, like they were sucked in mist dimension, very dark, which with scary things like scary trees, snake, and a ghost, which created by the memory man to get to what he want, because he want to steal money from the bank through Mr. Ho. And that's it for story number 1, and let's go to our story number 2, which entitled Revenge of the Goldfish. So in this story number 2, The Revenge of the Goldfish, there are two best friends called Brian Lim and Tikun. One day, Brian Lim's father buy him a new goldfish because he loved goldfish, and the father buy the goldfish from a shop, and uh, the boss of the shop said that the goldfish is very special, that the one that his father buy, and eventually Brian Lim experienced many unusual things where the goldfish stare at him for a very long time, and it seems like the goldfish is mad at him. So one day, Brian Lim found out that there are water splash on his face as is as he got up, and is very confused situation because he think that who would splash water in on her face when he is alone in his room. So eventually he experienced very unusual things like uh, the goldfish stare at him, and he can see that the goldfish is very mad at him, like the goldfish want to say something, and he trying to tell the story to his best friend Tikun, but Tikun is not believe him, and uh, day by day Brian Lim trying to convince Tikun, but he still doesn't believe him until the size of the goldfish changes in the goldfish, where the goldfish getting bigger and bigger, and Brian Lee mother says that he want to remove some of the little goldfish so he can make a room for one goldfish that is very special that his father buy him. But Brian Lim didn't want that because he knew and he's scared that the goldfish uh, gave him a very scary experience. But um, his mother said that, what would your father think? Because his father buy the goldfish especially for Brian Lim. So in the end, Brian Lim keep the fish, and the fish getting bigger and bigger, and he invited that uh, he invited Tikun to his house to uh, see the fish, and Tikun believe him because the fish act really strange, and one day they getting scared, and they're trying to remove the fish from the room, and they found out that the fish getting bigger and bigger because of the darkness of the room. So if there are no light in the room, and the fish will getting bigger and bigger, unless there are light reflects on the fish, so the fish will changes its size to a normal size, and it's very scary experience for Brian and Tikun. And one day they try to remove the tank of the fish, but Tikun accidentally dropped the fish tank, and it fell on the ground, and the tank is broken, and the fish got out from the tanks, and the fish fell on the house floor, and they're getting a more scary experience where they see the fish turn into a person, and the fish person face very angry, and he stated that Brian trying to prison him in the fish tank, and he tried to take revenge on Brian Lim and Tikkun, which he changed Brian Lim and Tikkun into a goldfish, and he put them in a fish tank, and they're trying to get help and attention from uh, Brian's sister, which is Sarah and Jasmine, and he is they're trying to struggle to get their sister attention, but in the end the goldfish person catch Brian's sister, and that he trying to threaten them if they're trying to fight him. In the end, they succeed to fight the goldfish persons, and they give him best solution for him to live on different environment and different and more comfort, where the goldfish can go to his real kingdom, because actually the goldfish person is he stated that he is from the Atlantis. So in the end of the story, Brian's father did not even search for the goldfish, and he was furious because of the carpet in the house is wet. Okay, everyone, that's all from me. And if you want to borrow this book, you can use our book bear service. And that's all from me. I'm Lars. Thank you, everyone. Bye.